Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dante Elephante podcast. I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling pretty good. My hair looks like complete dog shit today. I'm just getting by. Did a great interview with Kyle Field of Little Wings today. That episode should be out in a couple weeks. Other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. The main reason why I'm nice and stressed is because Zoom is a piece of shit, and sometimes when you download a Zoom, it doesn't come out fucking great. It just fucking sucks. I think I'm cursing too much for the beginning of this YouTube video. I don't think YouTube likes when you curse like in the first 3 minutes of a video, but it's fine. I'm exhausted. Hopefully at some point you get to see the Divino Nino and Chelsea Rose interview, but at the moment, as I'm editing those, it's gonna be hard. But you know what? Until I figure that out, today's episode is with Martine. If you haven't watched the new music video for Emotion, go watch it. They are the performer, the mastermind behind the music video. I think the music video looks amazing. Get a little glimpse of what happened before, during, just kind of figured out how Martine became. How are we here now? It's pretty amazing. I'm pretty excited. Thank you so much for watching. As we always like to say, thank you to the Patreon people, everyone over there on Patreon. This podcast is sponsored by the people. Shout out to Andrew E. Roth, Ashley Brinkley, and Joseph Hallow. You guys are my rock. Want to be a sponsor on the podcast? Cruise over to patreon.com. I'll have the link somewhere in the bio or on the screen. I'll figure that out. I do it every time. I don't know why I act like it's new every time. Shirts, you guys already know the Dante Elephante shirt is here. It's there. I'm thinking of new designs. Maybe we do a hat next. I feel like I'm gonna do a hat next. I'm really close to figuring it out. And I have another shirt design that I just haven't pulled the trigger on. But it's coming up. Complain about Zoom. I already complained about Zoom. Martine's on the podcast. Thank you to the Patreon. Please go pre-order the album if you haven't already. It's coming out on Born Losers Records. Great label from Philly. It comes out January 8th, 2021. Because this is a cursed year, and we're not releasing a record in a cursed year. I refuse to do it. And either way, so hopefully 2021 looks better. I think it will. And yeah, like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast. All right, we're going. Martine, how are you? Is it Martin or Martine?
You can call me Martine.
Okay,
my boy name is Martin, but Martine is I prefer, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And you live in Philadelphia?
Yes, I do live in Philly.
How do you know all the... Well, I guess we should just kind of... You're the main performer of the Emotion video. Thank you so much. The video looks fucking amazing. Like I don't know, I guess we should just walk through how you know Born Losers. How'd you get connected with the project? Because this is really the brainchild of you and Max.
Right.
Yeah.
So it kind of all really fell together. I work with Max's girlfriend Alexa, and I work at a hair salon with her. And she was like, "Hey, my boyfriend Max is doing this video. He's seen you perform before. He wants to know if you're interested in doing this." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And it just we happened to create such a cool thing together. So I was really excited how it turned out and the process of everything. And we just wanted be someone's getting ready to go out on a date, because it's when was the last time anyone really went on out on a date, so it's
That's
just
so
well, we'll just throw it back to pre-pandemic happiness, so
I think we're all kind of looking for something like that right now,
girl, for real. For sure.
There's different stages of this quarantine. I've noticed it's for a lot of creators and artists, I see a lot of people I'm going back to school, or I'm going to move out of this big city. Maybe I'll move to a red state and where I can get cheap land and
I've never not wanted to live in the city more than during this time.
Yeah.
I'm it would be so much easier to live in a farm, not care,
I know. Find a little house by a lake and just chill and be alone, and yeah.
That would be so nice. Ideal.
I know. So that's kind of the stages. I see everyone like, oh, I think I should go back to school. I think I should do this. I'm just like, just wait it out.
Yeah.
I think if you can, just wait it out and things will go back to normal. This is just me hoping and dreaming here, but like, I feel like we're so close.
Yeah, we're so
know.
close.
I feel like we're so close. This is like the final stretch, and then we'll be back to normal. You know.
Then we'll be there. We're almost there.
Whatever normal is, you know.
Yeah. Is there any way to turn your volume up? Because my volume's all the way up, but is there any way that I can?
I'm using new gear, so I am still working out the kinks. I don't know.
You're okay.
Let me see audio settings, speaker microphone volume up. Let's see, automatically adjust. How's this sound?
A little bit better, yeah.
A little bit better, and this?
Oh yeah, that's way better. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Wow, that was quick. That was quicker than I thought. Okay, cool. And so you work with Alexis, and that's how you guys got connected? Alexa's
my girlfriend.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome. What was the process like? Was there a lot of, you guys didn't really have a lot of time before the video, and then what was it like the day of the video?
Yeah. Okay. So the process was me and Max, socially distant, met each other we got drinks to go. And we just sat and drank some beer, and we like talked about what we wanted the vision for this music video to be. So he wanted to work with me because I actually did a lot of digital drag work, and he really responded to the way that I formatted things and the way that I shot things and the way that I edited things. And he was like, hey, basically I want to have the same feeling as one of your videos, but just like in HD, which I appreciate. I always love an upgrade, you know? Yeah. So we just talked ideas back and forth, and we just came up with this mid-century kind of feel. And it's funny because we were throwing around the word mid-century about like the furniture and the design, how we wanted it to look before we knew the title of your album, which I thought was really funny. So we just had like a meeting beforehand, and then that was on like Friday. That was on Monday, and then the next Monday after that, we shot everything in 8 hours. Oh. So the whole video was shot. Yeah, it was a long day, but Max and Alexa, it was their house that we shot in. So they were the most gracious hosts ever. They had like any good Philadelphian. They had a tray of pretzels for me. Love it. A tray of soft pretzels. And it was just like, it was really cool to be in that kind of process, because I'd never been a part of something that was like so high production before. So it was really fun. I had such a blast filming the whole day. So most of it was filmed at their house, and then the second location was at an art gallery in Philadelphia. All the projection stuff that was at an art gallery. I'm assuming you need a massive wall. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, those I love making videos. I think music videos are so fun, but they can be so stressful, and it can be such a long day, and it's just like I had one of my last videos, I had a 4 a.m. call time, because that's when the bar would let us shoot, was 4 a.m. And I was just like, like I fell asleep at the bar, and I was just like, no energy whatsoever. What time did you start shooting? Oh, it was nice and leisurely for us.
Okay, good.
Started, like 1.
Oh, but okay, good.
I was so glad that it was like, I hate nothing more than like doing drag when it's like hot out, because it's like I'm in all this stuff, I have a full face on. It was like a nice cool afternoon. Oh, good. And it was like it was a leisurely process. Like nothing felt like really rushed, and it was nice to be like creative in like a calm environment. But I didn't even realize it was like we were driving home from the art gallery, and Max was like, well, that's an 8-hour day. And I was like, 8 hours? That was
wow. But all the costume changes and all the set design kind of stuff, like, oh man. Was there a lot of time in between the shots of just like doing nothing, or was it kind of moving?
Well, I mean, Max was in charge of like scene setting. The only thing that I had to do was like show up and look pretty, which I
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I know
But
you look so good.
thank you. I know. I
Yeah.
was like, God, I was like, damn, I'm glad I did my makeup well that day because the camera was right here. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so it was like maybe like 30 to 45 minutes in between each shot that Max had to like reset up his camera because like one was outside, one was in his bedroom, like one so it I mean, it wasn't a lot of setup time, but it was enough time for me to like change, like put on another coat of lipstick
Yeah.
and, get ready.
Oh man, what kind of mindset do you have to get in before shooting a scene? Like, I don't know. Do you act at all? Are you also an
I do.
aspiring act? Yeah. Like get in the mindset of like a music video because I've done it a couple times now and I've acted in music videos. I've never had to like talk, but like
Right.
that feeling of turning it on. Like, what do you think? What is that?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I went to school for music. So I've been performing my whole life, and for me, it's like taking a deep breath and being like, I need to turn it on for the scene. Or
Mm,
if I'm not turning it on, I'm doing a disservice for the audience, and I'm also doing a disservice to myself. So for like this in particular, like this whole music video, I was just kind of being like flirty and fun and light, and it was just like, you know, very like giving just like girl getting ready to go out. So I was
mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm just like primping myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like really, I mean, and when I was shooting the music video, I felt like I was being primped and like, like I was all done up. And when you feel beautiful and when you see that you look beautiful, it like just makes, beauty happen so much easier on film. For
Mm.
me, that's what I personally do. But you know.
And you said you film yourself. Like, what kind of videos are you shooting on your personal time?
So during quarantine, I've been in two like digital drag shows,
Mm.
and they both had like different themes, and the
Mm.
show itself called for a different type of performance. So the first one that I did was a music video to Cool by Gwen Stefani. So again, it was like kind of dreamy, and it was like, like longing and being flirty. And then the next one I did was Replay by Lady Gaga with
Mm.
like spoken word in the beginning, and that was like a little more intense, a little bit like sexier, a little raunchier. So it just like calls for whatever the event that I'm like performing at.
So when
Because
you were, yeah.
so with like you need to, I mean, with any type of performance art, you need to know who your audience is, right? Or like what
Mm-hmm.
audience you're going to be performing for. And you just gonna have to I have to take Martine's aesthetic and kind of shift it or tilt it one way or another. So
And so this drag virtual show was it a lot of different performers involved?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
did
yeah, yeah.
everyone
I think both.
and everyone kind of recorded their own things, and then you compiled them together as one piece, or how? Well, let me walk me through it. I want to hear it.
Yeah, it's really crazy how all types of performance has kind of uh gone digitally. So I know for some like, because there's a lot of drag shows that are being hosted online, and for some drag shows it's like you send in a pre-recorded tape to the person that's hosting the show, and they'll play it for the audience, or they'll lip sync to something live, like in
Mm.
their living room. Like, you don't know how many drag queens I've seen perform Genie in a Bottle in their bedroom. Like, it's been so many.
Yeah.
But the shows that I've done have all been pre-recorded,
Mm.
and there's all kind of like a theme to the show. So you do whatever you want to do with this theme, and you just run with it.
So when you see a bunch of performers doing Genie in a Bottle in your head, are you thinking like, I need to do something different? Like,
Well, here's the thing. Drag
yeah.
is different for every performer.
Mm.
Everyone's drag is going to be different. I mean, some girls are that's their thing is to lip sync. Their thing is to look like a woman. Their thing is to dance and do the death drops and the kicks. That's not me. And for people that do that, I'm not like, I love watching people doing Genie in a bottle in their bedroom. That's awesome. Yeah. But it's like, that wouldn't feel sincere to like Martine's character. Because Martine's a showgirl. Martine's like a burlesquer, you know? So it's trying to take what I do and like digitalize it. And like, while I can't like, because I mean, burlesquing is like stripping, right? And you can't do that really on the internet without some kind of like on Facebook feed, like they would have you off. So I kind of have to find a new way to bring the essence of what I do to film.
Okay, so pre-pandemic, you were doing more of a burlesque kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, burlesque is really where I found my footing in Philadelphia as a performer. I won an amateur burlesque competition, and a part of that, like the prize package was to have like a spot at a monthly burlesque show. So it's like I really kind of learned where I kind of fit in my style of performance, you know. So
yeah, I've been to a handful of drag shows in Santa Barbara, and it's always like amazing. It's like they're such great performers, and it blows my mind. You know, I'm like, this is like they're athletes. You have to be like an athlete. You have to be just all around entertainer. Sometimes a singer, you know, lip sync, an actress or actor. Like, you know, insane.
Yeah, it is crazy. And the girls out in California really serve it. They give it to you all the time. Yeah. And to me, drag is like the art form of queer people, of like the queer identity. So I think it gives us a space to allow us to be crazy, to be over the top, where like everyday life we're not given permission to do those things.
Is there a competition within the scene, or is it all love?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, most of us are men in wigs, but drag personas are any gender, any whatever. Yes. But of course, there is a lot of. I mean, we're all fighting for the same jobs, you know, and it's like, it's better. It's better now. There's being brought some light to it, but some producers would be like, okay, there's one spooky queen in the show, there's one pageant queen, like to have like a well-rounded cast, and you're trying to, and there's one like art queen or one weird queen, so like you're trying to fill that role in that spot. It's getting better now with everything that's going on and being brought to light that everyone needs an equal chance to perform, especially in Philadelphia, especially with like our Black trans sisters in this community who haven't been getting booked because they're just being overlooked by producers, and now they're getting we're making an initiative to book these performers more because they should be getting booked. Yeah. But I mean, there is a certain level of competition, but a little healthy competition never like hurt anyone.
Yeah.
I love competing, so.
Yeah, that's like what I was thinking. Is it like, because musicians, we're very competitive, and that's like a big message that I'm trying to get across on this podcast, is that like it doesn't have to be that way. We can have each other on, and you can come on this podcast and promote your album, and you know, when tour dates come back around, promote your tour dates. Like, but like as soon as someone gets on a label, it's like, why them? Oh, why, you know? And so I was wondering if it translates probably everywhere, but I'm so new and I'm such a novice. I'm outside of that scene that I'm very curious to see what it's like on.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to think about because a lot of the people that do drag are like drama, music, and art school weirdos. So it's like we go to college for the arts, and it creates this weird kind of competition. Like you're trying to always be better than someone else. And then when that doesn't, like, when your dreams of like music school fame don't come to fruition, you kind of, well, for me personally, you kind of steer to alternative art, but that's that weird, like competitive, like under like shady kind of competition is still there. So I mean, I don't play into it anymore because this is my art. This is like the first time in my life where I'm taking my artistic expression into my own hands. So I don't have time to be like petty with the other girls, but it's fun to hear about and talk about.
Yeah, it is exciting. Like, it's exciting to see, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. Like, oh, someone released a new song. Oh, that song sounds pretty good. Can I write a better one? Like,
right.
And that's healthy competition, you know?
Right. I mean, and it's always, I mean, whenever a drag queen or a performer, a drag performer is having success or being successful, that's a win for me as well. Because it's like, we're all in this together. We're all just trying to gain notoriety and we're trying to gain acceptance. And like, we're all trying to do the same thing. So I see it as a total win when other drag queens are being successful. And I like, yeah.
And with the success of like RuPaul's drag show, like, I feel like it's become way more accepted and it's happening everywhere now and it's beautiful. And I think just the scene and the art form is growing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's pros and cons. The pros are that queens are being booked for things. They're being paid for things. They're not being
paid.
Yeah, they're being paid.
That's the big one. Getting paid. Yeah.
As like a sideshow freak that you bring in and like, you know, they'll just work for pennies. You know, that's good. But the cons are every gay man that watches like an hour of Drag Race think they can tell me how to perform and how to do. Like, they're like, girl, you're not wearing pads. Oh, you're not shaving your beard. So it's like, you know, it gives like a public perception of what drag is when at its root, drag is like anti-establishment. So by it becoming more popularized, it kind of takes away that like grittiness and that undergroundness, which I like really love and appreciate about that side of queer culture. But the dolls are making coins and that's what matters. You know?
Man, there's a quote that's like, when the ocean rises, all boats lift up, you know? There's some random quote like that. I may have made that up.
I mean, it's true though. I mean, everyone's and you know what? Everyone's stepping up their game too. Which can be a good thing in their own way, but you know.
So how old were you when you realized, okay, I'm out of music school? Like, you say every performer gets to that point. Like, when was your point?
So for me, I mean, music school was interesting because I went to kind of a conservatory type school where the only thing that was really celebrated or seen as like valid was like classical music, right? And that's where my voice sits. That's not where, you know, I mean, I played the part for 4+ years. I did it. And then when I graduated, I was like, something's still not like sitting right with me. And back then I was living in upstate New York in Binghamton. And I went out to this one dingy bar. I saw these drag queens and I was like, this is, you know, this could be for me. I mean, I had been watching Drag Race, but it was like, I was always too scared. I was like, oh, that's not for me. Like, no, you know, that's too out there. But I was like, it combines like everything that I find beautiful about making art, you know. It's like you're performing, you're setting your own costume, you're doing something, you know. So it was around when it was like 3 or 4 years ago when I started dabbling in it, and then 2 years ago when I was living up in Binghamton, I was like, okay, I'm doing this, you know, pedal to the metal.
How was your first show?
It was fun.
How'd you get on your first show? Like, for aspiring queens out there, like, how do you put yourself out there? How do you meet people? Networking?
So when I was up in Binghamton, I actually worked at an opera company. And we were doing a show and I was talking to one of, I was doing community outreach, but I would like help volunteer at the shows and like be backstage and everything. And I was talking to one of the makeup artists and we were just like chatting about like drag and like how she's like really interested in makeup and whatever. And she was like, oh, for your birthday, like, let me put you in drag. And I was like, okay. So she put me in drag. Her name's Shushu. I like consider her my drag mother because she taught me all about makeup. She, you know, kind of really introduced me to all of that. And then when she put me in makeup, I was like, oh, I'm doing this. And then I showed one of the local drag queens a picture, and she's like, I'm booking you for a Pride show. So I got booked for a Pride show off of just a picture, and I actually performed Swish Swish by like Katy Perry.
Yes.
I was like, oh God. Looking back, I would never perform that. But back then I was like, you know what? I'm going to dance and I'm going to like wear a wig and, you know, all that stuff. I was wearing a Misfits crop top and the same jean shorts that I was wearing in the music video on the project. Love it. So, and that's then amazing. That's how Martine was born.
Wow, that's amazing. Swish Swish, had that song just come out?
Yeah.
Okay.
The song it just come out.
Oh, yeah.
The hottest track. I'm like, I'm going to make all the girls jealous. Like, they're going to want to know who I am. I was a mess. It was a mess. It was, you know, it's fun looking back, but I mean, now when I perform, I think of like a full concept of like how I'm going to start, middle, end. But back then I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to put on makeup. People are going to get dollars. Like, I had a way different understanding about drag back then than about like performance now.
Yeah. Just like any art form, like it's like the repetition creates reputation, and you just get better and better and better, and getting more comfortable on stage and realizing, oh, there are beats to this. Because, you know, you look at a band, same thing as a band, like you're just up there strumming the guitar and it looks easy. But then I'm 10 years into this thing now, and like I get it now. I get the performance aspect of it. Now at the end of the song, I grab the mic and I run into the crowd, and now it's like, oh, and I'm sweating, and then I pass out. I do the James Brown thing because it's hilarious. Like,
yeah.
And it took me a long time. Before, it was just us standing up there playing guitar, just trying to sound good. And then once you sound good, and like for you look good, and the performance is good. Now it's time to kick it up.
Right, because at the end of the day, we are entertainers, and we are entertaining, and I feel like the market is so saturated, and everyone sees everything that everyone's doing, and people get bored easy. So you have to be like, what can I do to keep this awake? What can I do to keep the energy alive? You know?
That's why I like short sets. I don't like playing hour-long sets, because if I'm getting bored, they're getting bored, and it's like, I just like to keep it going. The only thing I do the only thing I do really long is the podcast, and someone said I was exhausting in the comment section the other day. I'm sorry.
No, it's like drag queens are on stage. If my number goes past 3 minutes, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, first off, it's uncomfortable. I'm like corseted. I'm in heels. I don't want to be dancing around for more than 3 minutes. And it's like, once you pass that, like once you get into that 5-6 minute threshold, that's when you get to lose people. But I will say, there was this one queen in Philadelphia. She did the whole MacArthur Park suite by Donna Summers.
Oh, yeah.
That's like 25 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That was excellent. I was like, yes, bitch. I was like, you work, bitch. I was like, this is amazing.
Imagine the prep going into that, though.
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, and she was doing costume changes on stage. Oh, like my mouth was open the whole time. I was like, insane. Incredible. So, man. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I don't mind something being for 30 minutes if there's like movement, and if there's like the storyline is propelled, and you know, so. Were
they closing? Like, were they the finale? How's it? Yeah.
I don't think it was the finale. It was like the middle. I don't know.
So there is a production manager on all these shows. Like, can't they just be like, hey, 25 minutes, like, we have a lot of people who need to go up tonight, like.
No, I don't. Yeah, they allowed it, and I'm glad they did.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I wish I could have been there. Yeah. Oh, I think we lost. Oh, here we go. We're back.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh man. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So then, how old would you say you're? 24 when you started performing?
I'm 27.
You're 27 now?
I'm 27. Yeah, I was like 24, 25 when I started doing all of this.
And was it intimidating?
Yeah, it's intimidating. Like, I mean, it's
It's scary.
yeah, it's scary. I mean, and we were going out in like in upstate New York. It was Binghamton, so it was like the boonies.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I've never been there. What's
right?
that like?
You're not
Yeah.
like, missing much. I'm not
Okay.
saying.
Good.
It's a cute little town. I fell in love with a lot of people there, and it was a great place to like start my adulthood. But it was scary because it's like people are not nice. People are mean. People are homophobic. They want to hurt you for looking a certain way. So not only is that aspect about it scary, the external aspect, but there's also like the internal aspect of it's like, am I a fool for doing this? Will my parents like love and accept me? You know, it's like, it's all these things that you're like bringing into question. That's like, should I do this? Is this making everyone uncomfortable? Am I making myself uncomfortable? And I would like to say that there's less discrimination in Philadelphia, but there's like not. I mean, people are going to be homophobic like literally anywhere.
Yeah,
it's really crazy.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of being fearful, but then also it's like, again, we are in the age of like RuPaul's Drag Race where drag is seen as a very specific thing, and it's like almost an unrealistic expectation for like new drag queens that are starting out. It's like, you're not going to look like these girls your first time out on stage.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of like the expectation, but people have to see past that. And it's like, you know, once they get past that, the nerves go away. And I mean, before the pandemic, it was like I was performing like 5 or 6 times a month, and it was just like bliss every time I was out on stage. It was just, I was happy. I felt fulfilled. I was getting coins, you know, I was getting good money.
Yeah. So. Is there an additional pay aside from the tips, the dollar bills that get thrown?
Yeah. So there's like a performance fee. There's like a base. And then on top, there's like, I have a base pay, and then anything out of that, you know, but it's like, I mean, it depends. I mean, especially when you're up and coming, you don't get a booking fee. Yeah. And sometimes it's like, here's 2 drink tickets.
Yeah.
You know,
just like being in a band.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
totally.
I wanted to perform, so I allowed for that to happen, you know?
Yeah. To build your name and your brand, and same thing with being in a band, man. You get the drink tickets, and there's older people like, you guys shouldn't be playing for free. Why are you guys playing for free? It's like, let me play for free. Let me get the name out. Like, I think some people also have this have a weird idea of like how the industry kind of works on any performance level. It's like ticket sales kind of determine your value, at least in indie rock. Like, tickets, like, that's how people make money. People, you know, that promoters get paid. We need people to be at the venue, so people buy drinks, and then the bartenders get paid, and then you get your cut too.
Right. Yeah, you're the main event, but you're the last one to be fed.
Last one, yeah, exactly. Like at the end, because I also tour manage myself, so at the end I'm getting like the itemized breakdown. Okay, this is the rental fee and this is the security fee. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why am I paying for security?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Bitch, I am my own.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't know. And so when you're first starting out, I always think it's best to just do the art, man. Enjoy this moment, because if things start taking off, it's gonna get weird.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what advice would you have for someone trying to break into this crazy scene of performing?
Quit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
My advice would be, find a foundation color that matches your skin tone.
Oh.
Actually. And also just be true to the art that you want to produce. Because I know, especially with drag queens, and I could say this for vocalists as well, you know, when you hear someone singing and distort their voice to sound like another artist, like
Yeah.
that doesn't feel authentic to me.
Yeah.
And people could see that visually. I could see someone and I'm like, why are you just look uncomfortable. And if comfortability means that you're walking out on stage in like a 2-inch heel and like a baggy dress, that's fine. Do that. You'll build up the stamina to be like wearing 6-inch heels and like a corset. Like you'll do that, but it's like, just feel comfortable when you're out there and be genuine with your work. No one wants to see you copy someone else badly. That's just not where it's at.
Yeah, I think that advice will translate anywhere, you know? Just be comfortable. What that comfortability, that authenticity on stage really shines through, and maybe you don't realize it, but as you get older and you perform for more years, you realize, oh yeah, because then you'll get to that point and you'll see a new performer and you're like, oh, they're doing what I did. I did that.
Like please stop.
I see
like,
you. Yeah, please stop. I see you. Stop that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So.
Yeah. What? So, when did you move to Philadelphia then?
I moved to Philadelphia 2 summers ago.
And why Philadelphia?
What?
Why Philadelphia? So
I have a couple friends that went to school here, and I'm originally from northern New Jersey. And if you're from like anywhere outside of the like New York metropolitan area, you think New York's like the only city to exist, literally.
Yeah.
So it's like I like my whole life I'm like, why would I go to Philly? Like I'm in New York, like blah blah blah, all that bullshit. But when I was in college, I visited a bunch of my friends here that went to Temple and Drexel and Arcadia, and I was like, yo, Philly is actually it. Philly's
it is.
Yeah,
I've been saying this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I love it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The queer community is great. The arts community is really beautiful, and it's kind of still. I mean, Philly gets shit on a lot by like other cities, and it's like, it's really a beautiful place to be, and the people here have been the people that I've got to know have been so beautiful to me, you know, and it's really just been overall the best decision of my life was moving to the city and like finding myself and finding my voice as an artist, and, you know, and Philly facilitates that. And there's a reason there's a show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because it always is, baby.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I have done all the most touristy things in Philly. Every time we stop there, I'm like, I gotta do something. Like each one, I've been there twice now. Yeah, I did the Rocky Steps, very classic. We drove all night. We ended up falling asleep. I don't think you can even park there on that like strip of
right in front of the.
Yeah, we just parked there because we like it was 5 a.m. We had just driven all night, and we're just like. I don't know if we're allowed to park here, so we just like fell asleep there, and then like at 6 a.m. we ran the steps, and we're like, wow, we have until 5 o'clock until we have to load up. What are we gonna do?
Oh my gosh,
no.
That's another reason why Philly's really cool, because it's like no rules.
Yeah.
Or it just feels that way. I mean, people are just doing it, you know, it's like it's yeah.
We spent the whole morning in that like center area, and it was just so beautiful to see it like get busy. Like slowly you start seeing cars drive around, and then it gets insane. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, that's the art museum. That's like literally
correct.
One of my favorite areas in Philadelphia. I live like 10 minutes away from there.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I saw the Liberty Bell last time I was there too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't think that's real. I think it's fake. It's probably real.
No, yeah. The crack is real.
Okay. It was just me and all these other tourists, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm a fucking tourist. I'm an artist. I'm just here. I just wanted to look at it once."
It's like I'm not on your level.
Yeah, it's like I'm seeing the dad. I'm the dad and the kids. They're all taking photos. Like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, whenever my parents visit, I only take them to like the historical areas. You know, 'cause everywhere else is a little too edgy for them. So
Totally. Yeah, I definitely got harassed at a bar in Philly once. Just because,
welcome to Philly, baby.
I know. I wasn't even mad. I was like, this is classic.
We're a special breed of person, and I love it. I don't mind it.
It was sports related, of course.
Yo, you don't know. Okay, so I do not like sports.
Yeah.
I think they're great. And I used to, when I moved here, I worked at a restaurant, and we would go to this sports bar after for drinks. It was like an industry bar. I ended up getting into a fight with like a patron there because he was yelling at the screen, and I was like a couple of like shots of Jameson in, and I was like, "Oh, you're sad that your team lost? Oh, gonna be mad." And he was like, we were like yelling at each other, and then he ended up.
Oh no.
God. So it's like we you know, they just have to yell. It's like dogs barking at each other, and then he'll be fine.
I love it. I love it so much, man. I miss Philadelphia. I always tell people too. It's like, yeah, New York is great, but it's really overwhelming. And Philly feels like that, like, oh, this isn't as overwhelming. It's still a big city, and there's still lots of people, but it doesn't feel as like everyone's on top of each other.
No, it doesn't. Things are way more open, a little bit quieter. But if you want to feel like you're busy and you're in the middle of a bunch of stuff, like center, and everything's only like 25 minutes away, which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I like went to New York recently, and they were like, "Oh, well, my friend's in like Brooklyn, and that's like an hour away."
Yeah,
they were living. I was like,
it's so far. Another thing I noticed too, this isn't my scene. I don't really like running outside. I like a gym. I like an air-conditioned gym where I get my run on. But I did notice like a big running community. Like a lot of people
in Philly?
running. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like, where are you going? They're always running.
I know. Yeah. I was like, oh, a lot of people running.
People are pretty active here. Yeah.
That's sweet.
So.
I don't know. I'm from Santa Barbara, and I don't really see a lot of that. You know,
really.
And when I lived in LA, I didn't see that at all. You never see anyone running in the streets.
Oh, yeah, because you all have that Runyon or whatever. I've been to LA once. It was beautiful. It was the trip of my life. It was amazing.
What'd you do when you were here? What changed?
So my friend Marnie, she was living out there. She's a Hollywood gal, you know, she's production. She worked for Fox for a while. I went out there and visited her, and it was just, again, with like the East Coast elitism that just comes with you being born in Jersey.
Yeah.
There are no better beaches than the Jersey Shore, and that's a fact. Yes. And then I went to Malibu and Venice Beach. I was like crying when I was in the water. It was literally the most beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I was in awe.
That's amazing. Yeah. Then you come to Santa Barbara and it's just full of tar.
Okay. I love that. Well, when everything opens up, I was planning a trip to the West Coast in June, but you know, Corona happened.
I know that happens. That I feel like everyone's plans, like, this is a good place to go. Are you guys worried that the venues are going to close for where you guys perform live? Is there a fear that some of these spots won't reopen?
Well, I think during the beginning of this, 100% yes. We were scared that things weren't going to open up again, but I think now things are opening up. People are having brunches again, like drag brunches are happening, and things are slowly getting back to normal, but like at what cost? And like, are things going to shut down again? Like everything is in such like a limbo phase. It's really hard to navigate anything. Yeah. You know, but I'm optimistic that things will be taken care of and up and running soon. Yeah. Because I think it's like the reason why everything opened up, like I think a little bit prematurely, is because people were not standing it anymore. I mean, people want to be out. They want to be entertained. They want to be served, you know? Yeah. And that's the instant gratification that we want in this day and age. So.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you guys perform at a lot of bars?
Yes. I love a bar. Ugh. I love performing at bars. I love the ideal performance venue is like everywhere is dimly lit and spotlight on me and everyone's drunk. That's really the idea for Martine to perform. You know. So.
Yeah, and just thinking of like, bars are doing drinks to go. Maybe the bar has food, so it is a little easier for some places to make it, to kind of just wait it out, where a lot of music venues are just SOL, baby.
Yeah, where they're just performance venues. Yeah,
like,
I don't know if you've been to the Met in Philadelphia. It's a new performance venue, and it's huge, and it's so beautiful. And I mean, they like just opened up, and it's like, what are they supposed to do? Like they don't serve food, they don't like do anything except
just look at art. Yeah.
So
I've always wondered how art museums make a profit. Maybe they don't. Maybe they break even. I don't know. That's rich people shit. That's like that's the richest people shit.
Yeah, it is. There's like funds for that. I'm sure they're doing fine.
Sure.
They're publicly funded.
Yeah. Fuck. But then, like I'm saying, I guess I'm just upset because it's like it's been a big battle trying to keep these music venues alive. And like I'm just thinking of like every type of venue, every type of performance art now, like we're fucked. I don't want to get that way, but like I think we're kind of fucked. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
And do we do house shows? Like what, is there a drag house show scene, like a DIY kind of?
Well, I think all of our drag performers in Philly are very conscious about our health and the health of everyone else, because our work, a lot of the drag performers, it's like, we don't get insured through our jobs.
Yeah.
so
Independent contractors.
Like, right. It's like, we're too poor to think about getting sick,
Yeah.
So like, I think we're very conscious about our health, and we're also conscious about the health of people in our community. So I don't think there's been any like underground drag going on, but I do see like brunches going on, people wearing like face masks and like sidewalks, but like that's not, I'm not going to say never.
Yeah. Never say never.
You will never see me perform. Like my drag is meant for nighttime. I'm not like a daytime kind of performer, you know. That's not what I'm doing at this moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think you'll be seeing me at an outdoor brunch anytime soon.
Yeah.
But if it's big enough, so
totally, yeah. People gotta adapt,
exactly.
And if drag brunch is all you can do, like, I don't know.
Yeah. You do get paid from these. I did get paid from the online shows because people tip on the online shows, so it's like it's some source of income, but nothing beats like.
And where was the live show at? On Facebook, Instagram, Twitch?
So, there was 2 that I were in that were live, or that were on Facebook Live, and then 1 was on Twitch.
Cool.
But the Facebook Live ones were very well attended, Yeah, it's all on Facebook Live.
That's the problem.
Think of ways to have like a camera that they're hosting and then pan to like a pre-recorded thing. So
that's cool.
They're doing a good job.
Yeah. It's tough, man. I did like one live stream show on Instagram, and I was just like, like I kind of felt it. Like I got up after the performance, and I was like, let me go get a beer from the fridge. Like it kind of felt like a show, like that post show. Like, ooh, let's just grab a beer in the green room and chill. But like, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's so much a part of my act is interacting with
the crowd work.
Yeah, it's not the same. Like, I want to take dollars out of people's hands again, but
totally.
Who knows when that.
I hope it happens soon.
Ugh, so soon. And then if you come to Philly, let me know.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I would love to.
I know, that would be so cool.
I'd love to see something other than the fucking Liberty Bell.
Yeah, I'll show you all the cool stuff. Me and Max will take you out for a fun
that'd
time.
be amazing. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Are you working on anything else? What can we look forward to?
So currently, no, but I do have a lot of things that are like coming out. Me and my friend, we recorded a song together. It was a cover of the City in Color song that's coming out. I have photos from a photo shoot coming out. I think I have a couple of digital numbers like up in the works and a couple of photo shoots up in the works, but you know, who's to say what is going on? But for me, my drag's always been like kind of my saving grace. Drag has always really pulled me out of some very like dark and scary times in my life. And the time in quarantine when I wasn't creating, I was in a dark and scary place. And it's like, this is like, this drag persona is like important to me as a person, you know. It's important to visualize yourself as like a perfect being, you know, and like feed into that and believe in that. So I don't think I'll ever I'll always have something like moving like in the works being made, but you know, you'll just have to see what I come up with, because it's like I didn't know that this project like that I was working on for this music video was going to happen, and then it like kind of popped up.
Just popped up, yeah.
So